Oh, hello. Sorry, I have the mic. Yeah.
Easily.
I'll sit here. Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'll just get rid of this stupid phone here.
How are you finding Ireland so far?
I love it.
So I know you're a whiskey fan, so I assume you've sampled some of the local wares.
Yeah, you have to. But I'm trying not to drink too much while working because that would be sad.
Yeah. That's why you look like that and I look like this. Obviously, you're known for playing a fairly badass character in pretty much everything you do, with the exception of the first role you played, which I believe was the Ice Queen.
Oh yeah, you. How did you? Well, yeah, but I was in I think third grade in primary school. Yeah, that was actually one of the like a primal moment for me going into acting because my school class was supposed to do this this play, the ice cream, and then none of the girls wanted to do it. And then my teacher said, "Magnus, would you like to?" Yeah, sure, I'll do it. Fine, I'm not scared. And then when we did the play in front of all the older students, they laughed and thought it was cool. Oh, this boy's playing the ice cream in a big white dress and wig and crown and shit. And I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. They think I'm cool. I can be fun. Okay. So that started some sort of a journey, I believe. And also finding out I wasn't scared of anything. So yeah.
I just love the image of like somebody watching The Last Kingdom and then somebody who went to school with you walking in going, "That's the Ice Queen."
That's the ice cream. It's got a beard there.
You got to play Canute in The Last Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, making sure I'm pronouncing that right. It's spelled it's like I could potentially say it differently.
Yeah, this is a lovely anagram of cunt, isn't it? Sorry, did I say that?
Oh, we've lost the PG rating on the stream so far now.
Yeah.
How much influence do you get to have on that character? Obviously, being Danish yourself, you know, I'm sure you know the kind of the Nordic mythology. How much of that did you want to put into the character yourself? How much of that did you get to put into it?
Well, more than I thought I would, because normally when I'm working prior to doing The Last Kingdom, when I was working just in Denmark, doing films and theater and television, I would come with a lot of ideas to the director, to the costume designer or makeup department, but I just thought, I'll try that here as well. But even though this is a big gig and my first international job, so I did a lot of research, and obviously being a Dane, the Norse mythology was just like the backbone. But I had a lot of ideas and sent colors and tattoos ideas and things for the costumes. And when I arrived in Budapest for my first fitting, they had just printed out everything that I wrote and sent them out in like big color pictures. And yeah, we love your ideas, and you talked about green, so we're putting green into the armor here, and we're doing it, and the tattoo shoot, that's great ideas, and so like, oh, they're listening. And then I got to choose my weapons and all that, and get them designed after my ideas from reading the books in The Last Kingdom. Canute has a special sword, and I had some ideas for that, and they just put that in. So I think that was pretty cool, and gave me confidence that okay, I can do this, you know, because it can be scary to do the first thing in another country and then meeting hundreds of people and just being, oh fuck, I need to make them feel that they made the right choice. And I remember being a bit scared in the beginning, like they don't let them sack me. Like the first month of filming that, I was like, oh shit, am I good enough? And then after a point, it was like, okay, I'm going to be hard to replace now because we've shot all the stuff here in this location. We're moving now, and they can't do it. I'm good. I'm there.
Because you touched on it there about kind of putting down a marker, because you're coming into a show that's already established, and there's a book series as well, and Knut's very different in the book. I think he's 50, he's got grey
50,
hair.
he's white hair, and yeah. I'm not 50 and have white hair.
Clearly.
I'm quite ginger.
Did you read any of the books, or were you a fan of the show beforehand? Did you have an idea going in what you wanted to do with them?
I hadn't read any of the books prior, and I hadn't seen the show prior. So I knew some of the Danish actors in it, but I hadn't seen it. But when I got the job, I obviously just binge watched everything and started to read the books and from where I came in, because I didn't have the time to read. That would be 4 books without me, and then starting because I had a month, and I was also doing all the prep for the part. But then afterwards, I've just been loving it, and yeah.
You seem to have started a trend, because you're the original Knut now. Now we've got Knut coming up on Vikings, and now there's a Neil Marshall that's directing a film that's kind of based on there was a real King Canute as well. So
yeah,
it's the
age of
Knuts.
Yeah, there's a lot of Knuts out there, but I would say I'm the fake one, in the way that the character I play is not the King Canute. He's not the real historical character. He's a character, and I can't remember the name of that Viking warlord that he is. He's written down from 2 warlords. The writer put them together and made them Knut. So he didn't, and put that into the books. Also because he had this character early on a little bit. So instead of the audience should get to learn another character, and another 2 new Vikings, we used the same one, and just make him more dangerous. So cheating a little bit with the history.
The character Canute is obviously a bit of a bastard, for want of a better word.
I wouldn't say that. He's just ambitious.
But I was going to ask you about that, because when you're playing someone like that who's like watching the show, he's a baddie, but you're playing him, you can't just play him as a baddie, I assume. You have to find the humanity in him or the reasoning behind him, otherwise it just turns into a pantomime.
It's a good question, because I try not to see any character as evil, because no one would look at themselves as evil. There's a reason why I would kill this person, or you always have to try to find the logic in a character, and why am I making these choices? It's because I'm doing all this slaughtering because I want to have a new place for my family. This is my route to it. Instead of just going, oh well, I love killing kids. Like, why are you so fucked up that you do that? Okay, you have to find that way in. And for Knut, he's very ambitious. He wanted to have fun as well, but he had a plan, and people was in the way of that plan. And back then, it was just more rough, you know.
And spoiler alert, the plan ultimately falls apart, and
fucking Uhtred.
Spoiler alert, he gets his comeuppance. What's that like when you get the script for that? Because you've done 2 seasons of the show, and then I'm sure you've built up friendships and relationships in the show, and then all of a sudden you're not going to be there anymore.
Well, for me it was quite easy, because I got the part for the 3rd season, and that was a 1-season job. I would jump into the 2nd episode, and I would die in the last in a big battle with Uhtred. So cool, okay. And then halfway through the season, they went, so we might not going to kill you after all, because Stephen, the head writer, he really likes writing for you. So I'm not going to die. Well, we don't know if Stephen has a fickle mind. Like, okay, so and then later on it's like, so we're 90% sure you're not gonna die. 90%. Fuck me. And up until we got the last block 2 scripts. There's like, he's writing the last tonight, and we don't. Then I survived, and then one of the producers came up to me while shooting, going, the next season's going to be, and what we're going to do with you, and you and Breeder, and like, okay, so I thought, okay, this is, they definitely have plans here, which was nice. Also because I had to negotiate another contract because I had a 1-year contract, so my agent was like, yes, they really want you. That's good. We can use that.
Like this man sitting here essentially deciding your fate for the next year. We're not tempted. I'll send over a fruit basket full of cocaine and hookers.
No, so that was nice, and then before anything, I knew that I would be in in so many episodes of the next season, and then die, because they had to follow the books, so they had to do something. But they made a larger story between Knut and Breda than they were supposed to. That's not even in the books. So, and I love the fact that that story came full circle. So all the betrayal of Ragnar and all that, they took that in, and it wasn't Uhtred that killed Knut. They were actually fighting equally, and then it was the Breda story and the betrayal and all that ended him. I think that was cool.
You sound like you're very happy with how it ended, because a lot of people, there's like, I would have done this differently or done that.
But there's always that. Definitely, I would love to have one episode more of the show, because I think from me finding out that Uhtred beheaded my son, and then changing a whole plan and going to war and just going to kill him and then fighting him and then getting killed. That was one episode. I think they should have stretched that into 2. Also because I think it was just too many big things in one episode. But I'm not the writer, and they had a plan for the season and all that. So sometimes you always want more, but I think I think from what I got, I really liked it. And then I died, and then I could then go straight to Valhalla. And I wouldn't have been able to do the game if I'd been shooting another season. So that was a nice transition.
You mentioned they were casually throwing away the game. The game, of course, is Assassin's Creed, the biggest computer game on the planet. How did that come about? And doing things like the motion capture or being in the recording booth for hours on end, what was that like? And did you have a sense of how big these games were and what the fan base was like?
So there was a lot of questions in there.
Yeah.
I'll try to answer some of them. Well, it came about, my agent called me and said, so I have a self-tape for you, which is like an audition you do at home. So you don't have to travel to London for 5 minutes and go back. For this animated series called the Black Wolf Saga. I thought, well, that sounds cool. 10 episodes shot in Canada. So they need to see how you walk as well as the scene and stuff, and you have to do the scene. Hi there. So you have to do the scenes both standing and bigger and smaller, which they normally wouldn't ask for. But I thought, yeah, cool, this is animated. And then I made that tape and sent it away. And then a couple of weeks went, and then my agent called me and said, so they want to see you in London for the selected few. And we now know that it is Ubisoft who's the producer of it. But it might not be a series, we don't know yet. So it could be something else. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I flew to London, and I was supposed to be there for 2 days, or book tickets for 2 days. So if they wanted to see me have more, then I would stay, so I didn't just fly home. And the moment I came into the room, I met Darby McDevitt, as the lead writer of the game, saying, oh, hey, Magnus, I love you in The Last Kingdom, and this is the new Assassin's Creed. So, okay, well, cool. Thank God I didn't hate games. Like, I'm not doing that shit. So and then we did the audition, and they wanted to. I was auditioning for another character in the game called Sigurd, like the older brother, and now they wanted to see me as the lead as well. So I auditioned for the 2 characters, and then I went off, and I had some friends there, colleagues also auditioning, and we went out to have dinner, and then we just sat down, and then I got a call from my agent. So they want you back tomorrow. only for the lead character. And they were sitting there waiting, looking at their phones, and nothing happened. And I was like, oh, fuck me. Ah, shit. But then my good mate, Jeppe, who's also in The Last Kingdom, Jeppe Beck Lausen, who plays Heston in The Last Kingdom, he then got a call later, and he plays Thor and Halfdan in the game. So he did good. But then I came back and auditioned together with Gudmundur Torvaldsson, who plays Sigurd, who ended up playing Sigurd, and we played opposite each other and just had the best fucking chemistry ever. Came out of that casting room going, okay, if this is not gonna be, fine, but we're friends now. So we exchanged numbers, and then we thought, okay, this is good, and then we heard nothing for like months, going, okay, well, it wasn't that good. And then I got the call. We want you to have the part in this game, and obviously that was cool. I was mostly looking at schedules, going, okay, there's a lot of voice recording here, and I have to go to Canada a lot for all the motion capture, and I really didn't know how big this was because I'm not a gamer. But I had heard about Assassin's Creed, and you could mention a lot of huge games that I had no idea existed, but I had heard about this franchise. And I knew about there's the Hidden Blade, and there's the Templars, and the hidden ones, and all that. But I just went for it as I would do any normal character. Just want to make this a human being. I want to make this as natural and real for me to play as I would Knut, for example. And then I remember, I think when the first trailer came out in May, the big cinematic trailer, where we also did motion capture, and the now famous "Odin is with us" line is from, and all that. When that came out and was seen by more than 100 million people in 10 days, that was like the moment where I felt like, fuck, this is big. this is bigger than I thought. I had chats when I was allowed to tell some of my friends about it, and some of my gamer friends when I said, so I'm the male lead of the next Assassin's Creed, and just went, fuck, no way. Like, okay, this might be bigger than I. But I think it was nice that I had that humble feeling about this is just a job. I'm not a gamer. If I had been playing all the games prior, I would have been like, oh fuck, I'm gonna play this. But I didn't have that. I had this is a job, and I just need to do the best fucking work I can do.
Because at least with that, you're not going in second guessing yourself then, because you're not aware of kind of the enormity of it as well. Another thing about that game is I really appreciate how Thor looks, because now I can finally say I've got the body of a god.
Yeah. But in Norse mythology, he's like a big bulky guy. He's not Chris Hemsworth, which I love, and that character, his Thor is amazing and stunning, and he's like a Greek god. Hot damn. But he doesn't look anything like what I have read in the Norse mythology. But
when you're doing the motion capture for that, like how painstaking is that process? Because playing the game through was like 40 hours or something like that. If you're to play it like without any of the side quests.
If you're really good.
So how long do you have to go through with all of these? Because I imagine it's far more than what you would do in an acting job.
Yeah, I think I shot like 7 full weeks of motion capture, and I'm in every scene of the motion capture. The one scene in the beginning with the kid, young Evo, and then there's some of the present day stuff I'm not in, but I was in every day of those weeks, and that was kind of massive because we were a team, me and Carlo Rota, who plays Basim, and Loki, and Gudmundur Torvaldsson, and Gaia Weiss, who plays Fulke. We were like the cast, the main cast. They use a lot of. We shot in Montreal, and they use a lot of local actors for motion capture, and then people will just ADR the voices for them, like Ivor, the Boneless, and all of them. They would come in and do just the voice work, and have Canadian actors doing the motion capture. But we were like the team coming, and they were like, hey, you want to go out tomorrow, and I have a day off, and we can go to the spa, and we can go. Like, I'm from 8 o'clock in the morning. I'll have to be in full motion capture until 6. So I can't join you in that. Oh, sad. Like, so I was fully working and jet lagged all those weeks, but it was really fun. It's fantastic to be that involved in something, and I really loved doing the motion capture. In the beginning, it was weird because I came from sitting on a big black stallion with an army of stunt guys, looking like a billion with long hair and big beard and face tattoos and scars and weapons and shit. And then the first thing I had to do was to cut off all my beard, so I was clean shaved because of the facial animation, and wearing a very tight spandex suit with dots all over, and then a helmet with 4 cameras on. And then now you're the big Viking. Sit on this box, that is your horse. Yeah, we'll animate it. You know. So these sandbags over here, that is the roots of Yggdrasil. You can jump over them. Like, okay, imagine. Like, it's just so I had at the beginning I had to like find out how am I gonna do this so it's real for me, and that was weird in the beginning, but then quite fast it became everything is possible here. We don't need all of that. There was 4 cameramen all around shooting and 100 cameras in the ceiling, so they got everything plus the 4 cameras on the face. So even if we didn't get that from that angle, no, we can just use this, and it's 3D from those cameras, so we can just edit and fix it, and everything was possible.
Did you get any visual cues? Because we see like things like The Mandalorian, where they have kind of the real-time screens where they're able to see.
Yeah, that one we didn't have that one. The wall of that's fucking cool. Shit.
Could have done with that.
Fuck me. That is. Sorry, I'm swearing a lot. But that is. I love that show, by the way. But they put on like all kinds of stuff that I couldn't watch on a screen. It was all weird, like metal boxes and cases and stuff, and I could just see on the screen. So this is actually the castle, and this is so it kind of worked out perfectly. So I could because of the suit, it was like, oh yeah, this is Eivor doing. He can do that. Yeah, you know. But I had a moment where it was hard finding out how to be this hero dude. That's Eivor for you, the hero dude. But when I got one of the first scene I shot in motion capture was like a flashback where it's Havi, Odin, who is following a small wolf, which is Fenrir, as a young pup, and I was following it with the bow, and just having that bow and that feel of your hunting just gave me some. Okay, this is because I had this. It's a real fake bow, but the weight and how would you hunt, and that gave me like okay, here he is. This is the character. And then after that, I got a belt and the Varen's Mammon axe. I got that, so I always had that as part of the suit. And just giving a little bit of weight and knowing that I have an axe, I can always bring it up. That was sort of, okay, here's the character. That was easy. Because I felt naked without that, because I was just spandex, looking like I was doing aerobics in the 90s. Like,
yeah,
be a hero, you're not, it's not fitness, come on. Sorry, that was a long answer. I tried to get into
That's correct, because next time I play the game, I'll be like, oh no, you have to do this in a box.
Yeah.
What's that like that first time you like sit down and you see yourself on the screen as like a playable character on a computer game.
Yeah, I really like the motion capture, the cutscenes from motion capture, because I know everything I did. I know that when I turned around, I started whispering and put my axe up, and all that is in. It's like it's a movie. But I think it's weird looking at all the cutscenes that are just animated out from voice, because I can see it's not my movement.
Yeah.
I can see it's the character they have, and then he does like this, and then it's like that. And I think, oh, I didn't do that. So that's weird in my head, seeing that when I know everything we did in the motion capture. So I think that's also why it's hard for me to play the game, because I'm still. First of all, we're still making it. We're making more and more and more. So maybe that's a spoiler. I don't know. We're not done yet. But it's weird, and also because I did all the actions, all the small noises when you get hit. Can you make 5 different noises from getting hit in the stomach, and then now you're getting hit on your thigh? How's that sound? And 10 of those as well. And all of that, when you kick a box or you do something, it's just me. And I think that is weird. I love playing with Cecilia Steenspiel, who plays the female Eivor. I just think she's great. She's really, really great, and she's a friend of mine as well. I actually recommended her for the game because they hadn't found the female lead. They had a lot of great female voices, but they hadn't found that voice that they wanted. And then we were already shooting motion capture in Montreal, and I said, I know a lot of great Danish voice actresses. Should I recommend it? Yeah, please. And I gave them a list of, I think, 3 or 5 names, and she was number 1.
Hope you got a cut of that.
Sorry, what?
Hope you got a cut of that.
No, but it's just nice, and then that meant that and then they went with her, which is so cool, and that meant that we were 2 Danes shooting doing this game, which is nice. We could just call each other and talk about it.
Do your family play the game? Because I kind of like the idea of you pissing your wife off at some point, and she's like, I'm going into the other room to throw you off a cliff for 30 minutes.
Yeah, I have friends who've done that. Like, I've killed you so many times. But no, my family don't. They actually sent me the new PlayStation 5 and the new Xbox and the game and all that. And because I have 2 small kids, I really don't have the time to play it. And also when I played it, I felt like, oh, I'm still working on it. It's too soon. So it's just my best mate, who's a huge gamer and also an actor. He has the PlayStation, and another friend has the Xbox. so they have fun with it.
So you don't get to turn around and say, I'm going into the other room to play it myself.
No. I'm actually not a big fan of watching myself, watching my work. I did that a lot in the beginning of my career. But now it's like I don't need it. Maybe sometimes when something's very special, I like to just check it out. Yeah. But when I'm done with it, it's released, and then I have to do a clean slate and then do another one. So I'm not constantly thinking about Knut or being a Knut.
If anyone has any questions, just throw your hands up there. We can give them to Magnus. Another thing you've done as well was When the Dust Settles, so it was kind of a more serious role for you as well. Yeah. The Channel 4 series. Is that something you'd be looking to get more into as well? Because you seem to be, you've got this nice thing going now with the kind of the Norse gods and that mythology and stuff. But is a serious drama something you'd be interested in? Yeah.
I'm actually doing a new UK series called, it is not new, I think it's the 5th season or 4th season, called The Unforgotten. I'm shooting that from April. Where I'm playing a forensic scientist, so that is something else, and not with a big beard anymore, which is also nice, because I've been a Viking a lot, and my agent is like, You're so much Viking. Can we do? So I obviously if some good Viking stuff comes up, I will agree on that. But I don't want that to be the brand because I love doing theatre. I love doing everything, you know. So it's nice to do other stuff. And in Denmark, I'm doing all kinds of other stuff. But I have this Viking stamp on internationally.
I saw a clip of something that you definitely weren't a Viking, a show called Sprinter Galore.
Oh,
where
yeah.
An alien who is essentially, it's like a Sesame Street character crash lands in the back garden and the son is trying to save him.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then I'm watching somebody watch this and laugh. I go, this is actually really good. I wish I could understand a word anyone was saying.
Yes, that's a children show where I play the dad in the family, and we get this alien in and try to hide him. It's like a teenage alien that doesn't know anything, trying to teach him how to do stuff. So that is definitely not a Viking. But that was fun, nice. So in Denmark, that is one of the things that people recognize me from. Like, oh, you're the dad, and like my kids. I've watched you so much because my son is.
So he's gone from that, and now he's followed. You're kind of with the progression. You're going from the kids ones to the Assassin's Creed to the Last Kingdom.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it. I think it's that you can do everything. A lot of people didn't recognize me here because I don't have the big beard, which is also nice. I like going like under the radar, so you can have a nice dinner and not have to take selfies all the time. I think that's great.
You've also got the Vikings of Space. You get to play a Jedi in a Star Wars fan film. Is that correct?
Yeah, that one I really don't know where it's going. I have to admit, I did that. It's years back now, so I have no idea. It's just a small cameo in that.
Is that kind of like you're hoping that'd be your audition tape for The Mandalorian or Boba Fett? Or, cause
Nah.
there's a new Star Wars spin-off every 5 minutes. So.
No. I think me and Lars Mikkelsen, who's also in it, were just helping out. A young filmmaker. So, you wanna? Yeah, cool. Yeah, we can do it. It's fine.
Did you get a lightsaber?
Definitely.
Oh, fantastic. Well used here, so have you any questions for Magnus before we finish up? Oh.
Yes, Leon.
I have a few. The first one is, what was your favorite project that you've ever worked on, whether it's a movie or a game or anything?
Project. I think The Last Kingdom is very special for me because that is like that was a big jump for me into the international work, and that opened doors for me. It gave me the agent I have now, and I wouldn't have done Assassin's Creed if it wasn't for The Last Kingdom. So I think that is the one. But obviously, right now I've been in Assassin's Creed for over like 2.5 years now, so that is also a heavy influence on me, I think.
Did you play any other Assassin's Creed games, whether it was like research for Valhalla or just in your free time?
I played some Origins, and Abu, who is the lead in that. He's wonderful. His voice is just. I could just listen to him all the time, and so I played that a little bit just to get the feel of how to maneuver and what is it like. But I tried not to be too influenced by the other games, just going with my own gut feeling, as we talked about earlier. Yeah, I think it's just a little bit to understand how it works, and also I watched not all, but a lot of the cutscenes and all the history to get into all the Isu and all the. This is a very cool sci-fi franchise, you know, and I'm just the Viking in it. Yeah, so I did a lot of research, yes.
And then my final question is, who was your favorite coworker or other cast member that you've ever worked with?
It's gonna start a fight now.
Oh, there's so many. The first that comes into mind is Tobias Santelmann, who plays Ragnar in The Last Kingdom. He's such a great actor and such a nice man. He's so generous with his work on set. I think he's one of them that I really would love to work with again, even though I killed him off in that show. He had to go, you know. He was mistreating Breda. He was sleeping with all the other ladies. I want to have a son. And I gave her a daughter. Yeah. Any more?
No, I think that's it. Thank you.
Well, thanks for the questions, Leon.
Cheers. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's one big family. Well, that's actually one with Tobias Santelmann. After he dies, he's lying in his grave, and Knut is standing next to Breda, and being very very rough, going. He's just talking about like Ragnar's not there anymore, and asking her to lead the army with him against Wessex, and she says, "But I thought you wanted to lead with Bloodhair," and I said, "Well, I don't want to bet Bloodhair," and then Tobias lying down there, he's just sat up, dead, going, "Really, guys? Really? I'm right here, right in front of me. You're doing this shit." And the whole set just bursted out in laughter. That was really good. So there's a lot of that going on, and that's just a lot of pranks all through it. But I think that is the one that really comes to mind. Yeah.
I think we have a question up there as well.
Oh. Hi there.
Hi, Magnus. I'm just curious, as a massive Assassin's Creed fan since the very beginning, what would be your favorite aspect of the making of the game? Whether it's the mocap, doing the voice acting, would you have like a favorite part of the whole making of the game?
The motion capture. Definitely. And I'm so happy that I started out doing the motion capture, because that gave me the whole feel of the character. So when I went into the black booth and did the voiceover for hundreds and hundreds of hours, I had that backbone of I know Eivor, I know this. So I think it would have been tough on me if I hadn't done the motion capture. I think it would have been the transition into gaming would have been harder. Yeah. Also because I think by now I've recorded more than 15,000 lines for Assassin's Creed, which is like crazy shit. Doug McDevitt, the lead writer, told me that it's similar to if you get the lead in a television series and it goes on for 10 seasons and you are in every of the 24 episodes in every season, and you are in every scene. That is the amount of lines you have in this game. So it's like, oh, okay, shit. And then because it's been so popular, and they are doing second-year expansions and second-year content and all that, it's just never ending. It is ending at some point. They have to. There's a new Assassin's Creed coming at some point, you know. I know stuff, and I will not tell you. What? I will not say anything, because I have signed so many NDAs with my blood just going, no.
It's just us, come on.
There's a sniper in here, right? Yeah. Any more questions?
No, thanks so much, Ransom.
No, thank you.
Is there one more in the front there?
Yeah, they gave me my sword, so I have that, and I've killed so many stunt guys with that sword. So that was very important, and I have the ring, like an amber ring. I have that as well, and I have some furs and stuff. And they gave me all kinds of stuff. I didn't steal anything. I should have done that. But I know people who does that. But yeah, so I have some great memories from that, and I play with that sword once in a while. Yeah. Not with the real game. I haven't tried that, but obviously in the game. Are you challenging me? Is that what I hear here? Well, maybe. The wolf kissed. Well, maybe. Let's see about that. Yeah? The worst project I worked on. That got to be some theater shit I made, like when I was younger, like some comedy, musical comedy sketch show. But the thing is that even the worst projects I've ever been on, I always take good stuff from it, because if you're on a bad movie, like where you just know this production is shit, fuck me, the director is crazy, or the producers are, or the script is a mess, then suddenly you get very close to your co-workers, like the fellow actors, just because then you can talk behind the back about the fucking producer who's like. So I get some of the best friends from those bad productions, and that play I'm thinking of here, I started with the band. We started making music together afterwards, and made it like a jazz trio where I was singing in it. So that came from that horrible experience. So there's always good stuff to take from it, I think, and you have to endure. I'm not a quitter. If I say yes to something, I'll finish it, even though it's horrible sometimes.
If I saw you in a band and said, guess what he does, jazz trio is not the one that would pop to mind.
No, I've also been a lead singer in a heavy metal band at some point.
It's a bit more on brand.
But the two guitarists, they wanted me to growl. And I thought, but then they can't hear my lyrics. So that was some misunderstanding there. So it was a short run. I think we made one demo at some point. That's back in high school. Yeah.
Question up there at the top?
Yeah, just one quick question. If you were going to play after you finish all the stuff, would you play as the male character yourself, or would you more likely play as the female character to get some sort of detachment? Like, if you were going to play it.
Well, I think the female I would play as Cecilia, also to put myself away from my own
Away
work.
from your own character, yeah.
Because every time I sit down and watch it or play something,
It's just weird. In your own
I'm
head,
still
you're thinking
working.
about
It's like,
what you
why
did.
did I pronounce that like that? And I put pressure on that word, and then I would do. So I'm taken away from the whole
play the female
experience of
character
it. And that's also why I don't watch
that's why you won't
most
watch
of
your
my
own
own
stuff,
stuff, like
if
films.
you were going to play Valhalla, you'd more than likely play the female character.
Yeah, I think so. And maybe at some point I would probably switch, going, oh, I need to see that scene we did. But I really love Cecilia's work on the game. I think she's outstanding. Definitely, yeah.
That was it. Thanks.
And I'm so glad that you can play both.
can
It's
switch
so fucking great that it's not only male. I think it's we're trying to open this world up step by step, and it's a long, hard road out of hell, but we're getting there.
Unfortunately, that's all we have time for. But, sorry, one more. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, just got in a bit late, so I don't know if you answered fellow Danes, have anybody thinking, you know, Vikings with horns and all about killing? Or have you had anybody have very prejudiced views of the Vikings?
Not really, I think. There's always the story with the horns, but that is not correct. And there's a lot of people thinking that the Vikings were filthy, but we're actually very clean. We showered. Not really, no. A lot of people getting the Norse mythology wrong and all that, but that's what you have to expect. People pick and choose, just like with the Bible, you know. Like, I believe in that verse. It's like, okay, well, and I don't mind what people think. Yeah, exactly, and yeah, and there's a lot of real stuff in Valhalla, and also a lot of real stuff in the Last Kingdom. They're trying to be as precise as possible in the fiction. Yeah. And hello, fellow Dane. Ja, selv tak. Hvad hedder du? Jarek? That's not a Danish name. Polish Danish, well.
You're not a Viking at all.
Yeah. I guess that was it. Thank you for
Ladies and
coming.
gentlemen, Viking, assassin, and jazz singer, Magnus Bruun.
Yes. Well, have the best of Comic Cons and the best of weekends, and yeah, enjoy yourselves. You're lovely.